Whoa! I do have a standing offer right now, $50,000 for a wedding present. And I said, well, honey, I got something a little bit better. Turned around and gave her Babe and Lou.
I mean, that's top 10, probably most iconic card in football,
Yeah.
I would say, right?
Christy Mathewson autograph ball over here.
Are you buying collections?
I will.
8 years ago on a podcast, we're talking about the future of the hobby.
Someone's going to come into our hobby and kind of take it over.
So we got in late last night to Chicago. Actually got in about 1 a.m. It's one of the long cross-country flights that we had to take. But we're here today, and this is a great time to be in Chicago. A couple, Dave and Mary, reached out about 2 months ago and said, hey, we have something we want you to see. I've been collecting since the 60s. I'd love for you to kind of go through this with me. I've hand curated sets since the early 60s, and he wants to go through this stuff with me in the attic and hopefully find a way to sell it to me. But I wouldn't be a good friend if I didn't swing in and say hi to a good buddy of mine, Chris, who has a shop here, who's been a breaker for a long time. We've gone through a lot in the hobby. It's his 10th year anniversary this week for his sports card business. So I'm gonna swing in and say hey to him. We'll talk a little bit about what's going on up here in Chicago. It's almost surreal being at Top Shelf Cards. You know, I started back in the hobby in 2015 and Chris had just started his business in 2014. I've never actually been to his shop. So walking in, it just feels like history kind of reliving itself. I can't wait to talk to him about this. Chris.
Hi.
Dude, we should be
How
giving
are
each other a hug. Get over here.
Okay, all right. Wow.
This feels weird being in your shop, like after all these years.
Welcome to Top Shelf, man.
Thank you, man. Get
Welcome.
over here. Get over here. So this is it. This is the flagship Top Shelf store.
That is. Yep, this is our 5th year here in this location.
I still remember that first call you and I had, and I was doing the podcast.
Yes.
And I was like,
Breaker
hey,
culture.
you don't know what I'm doing. Here's who I am. Can you be on my podcast? You were like the first guy
Yes.
that said, I'll be on your podcast with you.
I tell you this every time I see you. I owe you a debt of gratitude because you and others you embraced. You saw the future of breaking.
Huh.
So you had us on your podcast
That's cool.
to talk about breaker culture. And we had a lot of fun, you know.
Well, as much as I want to talk about me, it's
Yeah.
no fun to talk about you.
I'd rather talk about you.
So tell me about the shop, man. I mean, so you're here 5 years. You run a group breaking business.
Yep.
That's been successful, but the shop is an extension of that, or is it kind of a different business?
Yeah, we probably talked about this on podcasts. I was going to go back and try to find them, but
Yeah.
I figured that at some point breaking would become so mainstream
Yeah.
and there would be so many breakers. Just in case I got lost in the shuffle, I wanted to have something like this because a shop I can control. I can control my community. I can control my customers. I have say of what's going on here. And that's all me. Breaking, I was concerned would get so big that I kind of lose control about customers
Makes
and where they're
sense.
going to go and how many they're going to break and customers. So that's one of the reasons. Plus, I really did want the C word's used a lot, community.
Yeah.
But it's fun to tie in with all the local sports teams, all the little leagues,
Yeah.
churches, charities, schools. I just love that. This is my case here, the owner's case. Some of my favorite things are in here. This is stuff I probably won't sell. Like this is a great piece here. This is Hulk Hogan, Flair, Undertaker.
Well, this is cool because you don't see this often in shops. Like, you are a collector yourself.
Yes.
You're a nut, and you're kind of exposing the world to what you love.
I'd love to look at it. When we met, I was
Yeah.
throwing breaks in the basement, and the basement's only so big.
Yeah.
So the other cool thing is, and don't tell my wife this, but this is all business expenses for the store, all these collectibles.
Genius.
Willy Wonka, we love Willy Wonka. We're a
Oh,
Willy
my
Wonka family.
gosh.
That's the whole staff there, the whole cast, including
No
Gene.
way.
Yeah, directors, Spielberg, Lucas.
Well, what's up with Princess Leia and the Chicago Bears logo?
Well, she's our guard at night.
I love it. This has got the Chris
Yeah.
vibe to it. This is a little bit of who you are. So talk to me then about the business side. You're running a sports card store.
Yes.
Which is different than a group break store.
It is.
Business. Are you buying collections?
I will. And you probably hear this every shop you go to. Our phone rings multiple times a day. Unfortunately, it's always late 80s, early 90s stuff where they want to bring them in. And I feel like you can't say no because what if you do miss something? Which has happened. Probably 1 out of 100 I've missed something and they've come in and you find something really good. And I'm not a big collection buyer, but I do have a buyer in this market that if a big collection does come in, we'll go look at it together.
Yeah.
And kind of split it up.
Got it.
Yeah. The heartbeat of the store, it's kind of shifted. So coming up over all the years, it was maybe 70% breaking. That was the revenue.
Okay.
You go on the air each night, you're on the air for 5 or 6 hours, you're going to do a lot of revenue. And that would come in every single night. But the hobby boxes are the lifeblood of my particular business. Something's new, a Wednesday or a Friday, this is where you come to get those cards.
Yeah.
It's just new releases drive everything. I don't buy a whole lot of rebuys and restocks because to rebuy and restock, you're paying pretty close to retail.
Right.
As I'm sure you're very familiar with.
Yeah.
So then it sits there.
Yep.
And it drives me nuts. Then I'm looking at, it could be $20,000 of product just sitting there.
Totally.
And then what do I do with it? I take it and get it into brakes, move it out. That's what we do. We can scan it in, takes it off inventory, and then just go ahead and put it in the brakes.
Got it. Your setup's very straightforward.
Yeah.
So you got your
all
Rode
This is the monitor here,
box, you got your Stream Deck. Oh,
which I have since day one. I use XSplit.
it feels much more complicated and in-depth behind the scene, like when you're looking at it, because you've always had a good production. But it's so simple.
I like production. That's the thing I always waited for a long time to get on those other apps because I like to be able to have like a studio here to change.
Man.
Yep.
Now I'm jealous. You're a Pokemon guy now. You've had to be a Pokemon guy. Is that a true statement?
Yeah, for sure.
Why? Why do you have to sell Pokemon? What is it? What have you realized that does for your store?
I didn't, because we're very community based
Okay.
in little leagues and the kids and stuff. And so because of that, it keeps them coming in the store and you have to have Pokemon. Because they'll come in for an event with, Big Brother's baseball game.
Yep.
Well, they're not really into all the cards yet. There was maybe 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old kids. There you go, there's your Pokemon.
I feel like, Tops TV, this is brand new.
Yeah.
8 years ago on a podcast, we're talking about the future of the hobby. This is kind of your vision, which is funny how it's kind of
That's
working.
why this is pretty surreal, because I remember that. You would ask at the end of each podcast, so Chris, what's next? What do you think's coming in the hobby? I said that somebody, some entity, some company, someone's going to come into our hobby and kind of take it over, shake it, turn it upside down. And I said, all I want to do is be positioned. When that happens, that's what I'm working towards. So when that goes down, Top Shelf is part of that. And here we are, Fanatics and Tops has taken over the hobby and just shaking it up and
There you go.
really making it a focus and priority. So
what's next then? Nostradamus.
man, see, that's the thing. I mean, we did talk about experiences when you open
Yeah.
up boxes and you'll get a card that says dinner with the Mannings or
Yeah.
something. That has happened. So I'm kind of right now, I'm kind of in a funk is figuring out like what is going to be next. I'm trying to figure that out right now. I mean, breaking is still really, really, really popular. There's so many breakers out there today.
Yeah.
So many.
Easy to get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, you don't want to get lost in the shuffle. But as far as creativity and being unique and personality, they figured it out. So you're right. What is next?
What is next? Good stuff. Well, man, thanks so
Hey.
much for bringing us in today. It's
Ty.
so good to see you.
Absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Congrats to you on the show and everything. And
Thank you.
It's good to know our friendship has continued all these years.
I know, right?
You're in my shop. This is really surreal.
Pretty cool, man. All right, brother. In a world where everyone's fighting for authenticity and trying to demonstrate how real they are, like Chris embodies that to a T. Like he is who he is. He's been that way since I've known him, and just hearing his background today, he's one of the forefathers of group breaking. And a lot of things done today are being done because he kind of delved into the world and put his personality. He did the spinning wheels, he did the creative things that people laughed at back in the day, but now are commonplace in the breaking world. So it's just neat to see kind of all that come full circle. And now he's kind of reestablishing himself and figuring out where his place is going to be going forward. Such a special guy, and I'm super glad we could just swing by and spend a few minutes with him.
Hi, Ty.
Dave,
Hi, welcome to Elgin.
thank you. Thanks for having us today, man. I
Glad to
appreciate
have
it.
you. Come on in.
Well, man, I'm super excited. It looks like you've already started laying some cards out here.
Yeah. Went through the basement and a couple of the closets and pulled all the doubles and everything that we're willing to get rid of.
Okay.
Just a lot of stuff, and life wants to clean house a little bit.
You've been a collector for a long time.
Yeah, since 1968, late 67.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, my twin brother and I started collecting cards, and I think it was 7 series of 1967 Topps cards.
Did you just catch that? He's been a collector since 1968. That's 56 years of collecting. Dave was building sets of cards when Lyndon B. Johnson was president and Mantle was getting ready to retire. Since 1968, card manufacturers have produced over 4,000 different sets of cards, and that's a conservative estimate. I'm getting ready to chat with a true veteran in the hobby.
In 68, when spring came, every dime we got went straight to the drugstore and bought a pack of cards.
So it's in your DNA, to say the least.
Yes, yes.
Wow. So everything that we're seeing today is from your collecting.
Yes, yeah.
So you mentioned Mary, your wife. Hopefully we get to meet her today. She supported you in this and came alongside you, which is always a struggle we find with collectors. What was the secret there?
Love at first sight, I think. We met at school, started dating.
How'd she get into the hobby? Was it just following your passion with you?
Yeah, pretty much just following us, my brother and I. Funny story though, on our wedding day, she wanted to get a vacuum cleaner for a wedding present, and I said, well, honey, I got something a little bit better. So I turned around and gave her Babe and Lou on the wall there.
Oh, shoot. Was she happy, or was she?
Well, she was excited.
Okay.
Years later, now she loves it. She won't part with it. So
The vacuum would have been in the trash already.
twice, 3 times over.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
If you were to define the type of collector you are, what would you say to people?
I'd probably say more of a set collector, but I'm also a collector of something that kind of peers out, and I look at it and I like it, I'll get it. If the price is right. If it's something that I like, but if I like a card, I want to get the whole set. I don't want to just get one of the cards. I got to get the entire collection.
Yeah. So you got the sets here:
Yes,
hockey, basketball.
and some baseball.
Okay. And some
If you want to go, we can go in the sports room. I'll show you the football.
Okay.
So this is what we call our sports room.
Sports room. All right. Oh boy. That's lives up to its name, that's for sure. He walks us into his sports room that is spectacular with all the memorabilia and just the specific memories. What do we got going here?
These are single-sign baseballs that Mary and I got in person. Hall of Famers that we went to conventions and got them. Frank Robinson, Ernie Banks, Pete Rose, Hank Aaron.
Brooks Robinson, Whitey Ford, Fergie. He got some good ones in there, man.
Yeah.
Hall of Famers, obviously.
Some of them I can't even read. Ryan Sandberg's autograph I can.
Right.
Basketball is when they opened the Berto Center.
Okay.
Got all the Bulls autographs.
I see Jordan there looking at
And
us.
Jordan and Pippen are on the same panel.
I saw your goal out there. Can we go test this in that goal?
Oh, sure. Not.
Wow, that is neat.
Pretty neat.
That's cool.
Christy Mathewson autograph ball over here
How did you come across that?
through a dealer that we had.
Unbelievable.
So if I had Christy Mathewson, I got Mrs. Christy Mathewson's autograph.
What?
Yeah.
That can't be very common. So I'm noticing the tickets are the one thing that are slabbed.
Yes.
Is that purposeful?
Yeah, I bought them when they were slabbed.
Okay.
This is a Harry Wright hand scorecard, the inventor of the scorecard.
What? Here's his initials right there, huh? What year is this, do you think?
1881, I think it's.
Okay. That's pretty incredible.
Babe Ruth's 462nd home run ball. That's autographed. I got the scorecard from the game.
This is really surreal. You have some insane stuff here.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I look at it, I've seen it every day, but people who come over are amazed with some of the stuff that we have.
At what point in life did you realize you needed Mary's permission for stuff?
The day we got married.
Secret to a long marriage right there.
It's 40 years, September 1st.
Oh, that's incredible.
These are all the sets.
Goodness.
Big Red Machine. Cubs are the second team to win 11,000 games. This is the dugout scorecard from that game.
I mean, how did you come across a piece like that?
Through the Cubs.
Through the Cubs?
Yeah, the Cubs auctioned it off through their auction.
Oh, okay. Are you, do they know who you are? I'm assuming you bought quite a few things.
Yeah, I don't know
years.
if they know who I am, but we do deal with them quite a bit.
Okay.
Bulge chair, so nights when Mary's watching her TV shows, I come in here and kind of decompress from the day at work and sit on the chair that Michael and Scotty sat on and look at some of the cards, which is kind of neat.
That is special. So this was on their bench. So Jordan, Pippen, Horace Grant, they've all sweat on this thing.
Yeah.
You don't wash it, do you?
I've never watched it. I probably won't either. A player's contract, Wally Pipp.
Oh man, cool.
He was a gentleman that played first base before Lou Gehrig came. Wally, I believe, had a headache, so they sat him down, brought Lou in, and never relinquished first base for 2,130 games.
Yeah, that was a really costly headache, wasn't it?
Exactly.
These are the real deal. I mean, there's no
Yeah.
copies of this.
No, it's one of one.
I feel like we just stepped into a little room, a little corner of the Hall of Fame. He sent me 20 pictures, and I saw cards, and I saw a couple jerseys. But it's become very obvious to me that this is one of the hidden gems in this part of the country, right here in Elgin, Illinois. And I'm really speechless that we had this opportunity today. This was...
There's a letter from a Civil War soldier writing home about how the war was going, the casualties and his platoon, and he apologizes for the penmanship because he had just gotten done playing a game of baseball. 2 words.
I'm gonna find that baseball real quick. His penmanship's ridiculously good, by the way. You know, just the significance of the stuff that Dave's pulling out. I mean, the Christy Mathewson, the Babe Ruth, the team autographs, the DiMaggio stuff. He's got the ticket stubs of important games. He's got signed checks. He's got everything that you can imagine. What stands out to me is that he just knows the history and the story behind every single item. It's just not a collectible. It's a piece of history to Dave. Tell me about the 35 Chickle set. I mean, most people aren't going to know about this set.
Yeah.
This is really the first football card set.
Yeah, the first set of cards 1 through 24 are common, and the second series 25 to 36 are the harder cards to get.
So everything up through here. And who's the Bold Tosi?
Tosi, he's a very rare card to get.
And that's in really good condition. And then who's the other big chase cards that people would typically know about?
There's the Holy Grail of football cards.
Bronco Nagurski?
Bronco Nagurski.
And why is that?
He was one of the original Hall of Famers. And the Bernie Masterson, the last card in the set.
That looks so sharp. It almost pains me not to see these in slabs.
Yeah.
And so you're just going to the next one.
Yeah,
48 Bowman's
48.
basically the next set. So Bowman went black and white and then color. Next year. Van Buren's rookie too?
Yeah.
That is? Okay.
Steve Van Buren.
I mean, these are just crisp. Look at these things. Were you picking these off individually? I mean, you weren't opening these packs, obviously.
No.
You couldn't find this stuff.
When I was in the early to mid 20s is when I started trying to get this set together.
I mean, that Y.A. Tittle is incredible.
That's with hair.
With hair?
Yeah.
Is there a variation without hair?
Oh yeah, there's 63 and 62 cards.
Oh.
He's got no hair.
Otto Graham.
There you go.
That's his rookie, right?
That's Otto, yeah.
I mean, that's top 10, probably most iconic card in football,
Yeah.
I would say, right? And that thing looks like it would grade a 5 or a 6, no brainer. I'm just kind of figuring out what we do next. Why are we here? What is he looking to do? There's a cloud of curiosity about what's next. So I'm excited to sit down with Dave and talk about it. These are 50, but I guess David's saying they're saying 49 now. These are the felt backs. I would say the biggest card in this set is the Paterno rookie. I'm trying to find it for you.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. Yep. There's the Paterno rookie. I dare you to go look up some of these sets. Try to find the values. Try to find how scarce they are. And you're going to be amazed with what Dave has sitting here. I mean, National Chickle, obviously something crazy. Putting the whole set together with the wrapper. But you start looking at all the other stuff, the Bowmans, the Philadelphias, the early Top Series. He put some serious time into these sets, and they are extremely value in the football card market. This is one heck of a sports room, Dave. So something happens, house is on fire, you have to run in and save one collectible. What's the one that you're grabbing?
Probably the Ditka jersey or the Walter Payton jersey, I think.
Okay.
Other than Mary first, and then after that, probably a couple of the jerseys.
It's probably a good segue. Can we see some jerseys?
Yeah.
Are they hanging?
Yeah, I got them in the next room.
We've waited almost 2 months to announce this amazing new feature for the Chasing Cardboard community. As you know, we sell in all kinds of different ways. We sell on eBay, we sell on whatnot, we sell direct. But one thing that we haven't solved for is finding a way for the community to sell to each other. Well, that problem has been solved starting today. Announcing the Chasing Cardboard Marketplace, which is available for all of you to buy and sell with each other. Not only are you gonna find very cool items specific to the Chasing Cardboard episodes, you're gonna find items from all of you that watch Chasing Cardboard. We have a great platform backing us that provides buyer protection, cool technology, and even interactive features for you to communicate with each other. If you click the link below, you're gonna get a $5 credit where you can use to spend with each other right now. We look forward to seeing you there.
So we got about 140 jerseys.
Are these all game used?
There are 2 of them that are not game used.
138 game used jerseys in here?
Yeah.
Gotta say that.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of the autographs we got on the jerseys were in person, going to card shows, going to meet them with stores opening. Best Buy usually had football players show up. We get their jersey signed, or get a piece of equipment signed through them.
So when did you decide to start getting into game used jerseys? Because once you start, you probably couldn't stop.
Exactly. As soon as I got my first Cubs jersey, I said I got to get all 30 teams. 1905 Dartmouth college jersey.
What?
And then in 1915 Gettysburg.
Whoa.
You just throw those on the bed.
You sure?
Yeah.
So where are you getting this stuff from? Again, is it auctions and different?
collectors, and I mean, it's not Ernie Banks Goodwill jacket.
A vintage wool Cubs jacket that had somehow made its way from the Wrigley Field dugout more than 1,900 miles to a Goodwill store in Oregon.
You never know what you're going to find.
When 18-year-old Jack Ricketts went to a Goodwill store last winter, he had no idea he'd end up writing the coattail of Mr. Cub himself.
Brooklyn Dodgers, Don Zimmer,
Oh, that's cool.
ended up being a Cubs manager.
So like, what is something like this? What did you pay for something like that? Hundreds?
I paid $2,500 for it. I don't know what it would be worth now.
Oh,
Yes.
this is a world that I'm not super familiar with. So like the values are intriguing to me. It's a lot of jerseys. I mean, he said they're all in chronological order, and the first one he pulls out is from the early 1900s, 1920, and 138 of them are game used. I can't wait to go through all these and see where these have been played.
This one here is Mike Ditka's first jersey he wore as a Bear.
That's the one he signed. This is
That's
the one
the
you
one
would
he
save.
signed.
This
Yeah.
is what you'd save.
It was graded a perfect 10.
Photomatch.com. That's cool.
When Coach Ditka saw it, he said he remembered sewing the jersey. The sewing, Coach Hallis made him sew his own jersey when it got ripped.
What?
Yeah,
So you obviously talked to him when he signed it for you.
yeah.
How special was that for him? Was it a neat moment for you guys?
Yeah, he smiled. And Mary got a picture with him, and he told us a couple stories about wearing the jersey, and a couple hits that he took, and a couple hits that he gave.
How'd you come across this one?
That's a funny story. We were at the Hillside Holiday Inn at a
Okay.
convention. This is back in the late 70s. And my brother and I bought a couple jerseys. He threw that in for $10 as a throw-in, because we bought 2 of the other jerseys for $200-300 back in the day. So for $10, I'll throw this in for you.
Yeah, what is something like that worth now? This jersey can be worth $50,000. My goodness. Your $10 ends up becoming one of the most important pieces in your collection.
Yeah, probably a cornerstone.
Cornerstone of your
Yeah.
collection. So why do you not frame some of these? I guess you'd probably run out of space, nowhere to put them.
Pretty much, yeah. Hank Aaron's home jersey from 1974, the year he broke Babe's record.
Did you get all this done after the fact, or was this when you bought these, the photo match was all done and you confirmed it
that
all?
was already done, and then
I see.
the certificate of authentication from the gentleman that authenticated it.
So in terms of authenticating jerseys, it's not like cards. There's different organizations that do this.
Yes.
Who's the primary one that you go to for this?
I go to a gentleman named Bill Henderson.
Okay.
He authenticates jerseys and gives his personal opinion. I've sent a couple of them to the Hall of Fame for the curator to
Really?
authenticate. Yeah.
The history that sits in this closet right here
Oh, yeah.
is unmatched. I mean, and then I can see you got basketball and
It's Jordan.
Jordan game used.
No.
That's one of the ones that's not getting used.
Right. It's autographed.
I like how you almost were depressed when you said that.
It was, yeah. Larry Durkin, the Astros came out with these rainbow jerseys.
Still one of my favorites.
Yeah, either you love them or you hate them.
Yeah.
But we got a Roger Metzger Astro jersey that I wore to the ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
And the Astros equipment manager came up from behind, tapped me on the shoulder, took me up to the clubhouse.
Mm-hmm.
All the jerseys were stolen. So I wanted to know where we got the jersey from. So as we were leaving, I saw Joaquin Andahar sitting on the bench, and I just asked, can I get a pair of pants to match? Because the matching pants had the stripe with the uniform number on it. So they didn't take the jersey, but I asked if they had the pants I could wear with them. They escorted me out.
Did you know we keep all of our viewers updated weekly for free? Yeah, we have a free email list you can join in less than 5 seconds. Click the link in the show notes and enter the amazing world of chasing cardboard emails.
You know, I don't know a lot about the jersey market, truly. You know, we see them pop up in collections, we see them in stores, we see them on auctions. But now seeing the significance of some of these jerseys and the values, I had no idea that some of the jerseys, even just, you know, a Robin Yount signed jersey from a specific game is valued at such a high amount. This is a very interesting market that I need to learn more about. I noticed the 75 here. Is this after the fact they would have stitched the year on? Or is that?
They stitched it on during the year. They made him a jersey like every other week
Oh, got it. Okay.
because he would give the jerseys away. Or
I see. That makes sense.
you guys might not know this guy. He was before your time.
Sandy Koufax. So game worn jacket. So you don't see this very often in the
No.
modern game.
No,
He would wear this on cold games.
right. Or while he's in the dugout on off days that he wasn't pitching. Yeah,
Ah.
I do have a standing offer right now, 50,000.
Why is it standing?
Mary says no.
So Mary's the one holding you back from selling. Oh my goodness. Fergie!
Fergie Jenkins.
Oh! Yeah, he wasn't with the Rangers long, was he?
No, no, I think 5-6 years.
Oh, was he? Okay, 5-6 years? Okay. Man, oh man. Dave, this is really special. I feel like I've got a VIP pass to Cooperstown right
Oh.
here.
The two Hank Aaron jerseys, we got signed to Magnavox promotion in Elgin. One guy asked him if the jersey still fit, so we put on the road jersey, put it on, wore it, still fit like a glove. But he signed both of those for us.
Oh man.
The other cornerstone,
That's been used.
yes.
He wasn't tackled very often, but when he was,
Oh yeah, they show the marks. That's been photo matches a 9+.
so when they photo match it, they grade it. Well, what does the 9+ mean in a photo match?
I think the highest grade is a 10.
Okay.
So there's something there that doesn't prove that it's 100%.
Okay.
I don't know what it could be. I mean, it's showing all the hits and bruises on it.
So what I'm seeing here with the jerseys is that this is a long game. You know, you're buying jerseys because there's limited supply, and down the line, these jerseys become more valuable as people realize the scarcity. You think of some guys like Shohei Ohtani or Mookie Betts, or certain guys that are going to make the Hall of Fame. You grab their jerseys now, but you're going to have to wait a lot longer for them to realize the value than maybe you do in some of the quick flips with sports cards. Layla Dunbar appraisals.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Retail replacement value on this, $150,000. What makes that so special? What is there a specific game this is from? And the inscription's really cool too.
Yeah, the inscription is pretty neat. No, this is before the GSH. Before had the GSH on the sleeves
Oh,
for George Halas.
okay.
So it's more.
It's more rare, not a lot. Okay. In a world of patch cards that are very meaningless, it's so cool to see these jerseys that are photo matched, not just as a game worn jersey, but like photo matched to a specific game. Like Ditka's first game as a rookie, I mean, those are super special. So this is a gift from Dave.
Yes, from Mary and Dave.
From Mary and Dave. Kyle Davies, Royals jersey. That is cool. Oh my goodness. Man, thank you for that.
You're welcome. Yeah, 22 is my favorite number because it's Mary's birthday. And then the guy who wore number 19 for Robin Yount. So I got 2. So Mary says she'll never wear it, but I wear mine.
You know what I've noticed about you, Dave? You love your wife.
I do, yeah.
You bring her up so often. I just have so much respect for guys that have been married 40 plus years and still, this moment, are giving accolades and giving compliments to his wife when she's not even here. It's a sign of a really incredible man, if you ask me.
Yeah, don't ask me how I got those rub-offs.
Right. Were these packs of rub-offs, or do they rub-offs come with an extra card in them?
It was the baseball cards with a rub-off in each pack.
That's what. Okay, so I got you. So you have wrappers for every set, huh?
Almost. The early hockey, I do not.
It was probably pretty tough, I'm guessing.
Yeah. The Decoledge has got the extra 2 cards in there too. I think there were 2 number 12s, I think. Or,
11s, Jim Wynn and Hoyt Wilhelm.
yeah, I think Joe Foy too.
Hoyt was. So do these have, significant meaning to you as well, or are they just kind of
just found them laying in the closet.
So the whole set came in a box.
In a box, yeah.
10 cents. Bummer. So when did you stop? When you sent the list, it was like early 90s, basically.
Yeah, early 90s. Yeah, it was with Builder Square. They promoted me up to Minnesota. So we moved to Minnesota for a couple years.
Okay.
And just that mortgage and kids, life took a turn where I had to stop getting cards for a little while. Then kids go off to school and they're in high school and start picking up again. I always had the passion for it, Ty. It just, life got in the way and kids with their activities and everything. I mean, we still went to ball games, still loved baseball.
Yeah.
But just stop collecting just for the money's sake.
Disposable
Save
income.
money. Yeah.
Well, that's a good lesson, right? You got to know when to say no.
Yeah.
Right? What is most important?
Know when to stop.
So when you got back into it, your kids were in high school. You didn't pick up in the current years. You went back to vintage.
Yes. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Because I had to get some of the 68 Tops test teams football.
Okay.
Started collecting those. I still need 2 more of those teams.
Again, some of this stuff I'm seeing kind of for the first time. The pinups were folded up then.
Yes.
They were folded up into 4s. And you'd have 1 pinup, or would it be a pack of pinups?
That is, the pinup came in a pack of cards.
Came with a pack of cards.
Yeah. So I think you got 5 cards.
And then the pinup on the back. That's interesting. And I already know you have the whole set, so. And then the larger ones, how did you get those?
71, same thing.
There it is, same thing. So the baseball card sets, there's a handful of sets here that carry some value. Obviously, these pinups and these posters are really cool. Everything's already in books. Just some added value. Things that I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting to see any baseball today. So some cool pieces to add to the collection to make it worth more. What are you hoping today? Are you wanting to sell some of this stuff?
What I'd like to do is all these that are out here, get rid of.
Okay.
Sell off of those. Mary's questionable about the football cards, but it depends on what we're talking about with football.
Okay. Football as in your sets?
The sets, yeah.
Okay.
But the baseball, basketball, and this little bit of baseball, those can go.
Okay.
And of course, all the doubles and box sets.
Hockey off or hockey on?
Hockey on.
That's for sale too?
Yeah.
Okay. So in other words, the cards are for sale.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, everything but the football right now because Mary's got to want her approval too. She gave the approval on basketball and hockey and.
I mean, when you got started in the 60s, values were not driving collectors' mindsets very much.
No, neither were condition. I mean, we got a card and we put it into our set, doubled, got thrown in the box.
Yeah.
And left for 50 years, without being touched.
Yeah.
or use them in the spokes of your bike. You know, I still remember putting Mantle and Mays in my spokes because they were they were All-Stars. So I thought that would bring people over to the bike and look at it. Oh, you got a Willie Mays card. So maybe the bike might go faster. Well, that's what I thought. And you know,
That's
now,
something.
the cards are worth an astronomical amount of money in
Yeah.
great condition.
That's a collector. Maybe they in this day and age, you can't just be a collector. You have to look at the money more closely because everything's real expensive. What would be your advice to somebody getting into the hobby now and looking at spending limited disposable income on doing it right?
I would tell them, just get what you like. If it's something that interests you, then dive into it.
Yeah.
But you got to have a passion for it. If you're going into it for the money, I'll be honest, it's not fun. I don't think it is. But if you see the card in a certain player or a certain team, collect what you like to collect, and collect what you like because it's fun that way. You know, for me, like I said, it was collecting sets and checking off who I need, and the thrill of the chase, trying to find that last card or two for the set.
We talked about this briefly on the phone. Why sell now? What's driving that a little bit?
Mary wants a new kitchen.
Okay.
So that's part of it. And my health isn't the best right now, so I want to start consolidating stuff down and just keeping some of the stuff and holding on to some of the other stuff that means a little bit more to us than money.
Yeah.
The cards have been around for 30, 40 years, and some of them, I'll be honest, we haven't looked at in 20 years or more. And they're just sitting around. Maybe it's time for other people to enjoy them and get the thrill out of getting a whole set or a couple cards that they need to complete their set.
Woo! A lot of sets.
But my favorite set was the first year we collected hockey cards, 68, 69.
And this was the first year Topps had, because Parkhurst had it for a few years, right?
Yes.
Nearly every relevant hockey set up through the 90s is here, and they're in books. The same with football cards, and a little sliver of the mid-60s up through the early 80s basketball cards. All these sets hand-curated by Dave. I mean, it's cool to not see graded cards and slabs everywhere. He cared about every single card he put into those books. Wow.
Yeah.
There you go. Front page news. With the wrapper.
Oh, yes.
Unbelievable. So tell me about this. I mean, you open these?
Yes. All these I opened pack by pack.
Is this your favorite basketball set?
No, I'll be honest. The favorite one, I think, is 71, 72.
Okay. Let's find my favorite.
Maravich.
Man, these all look good.
White letters, black letters, so they're different.
Oh. Which one's more rare? Do you know?
Neither one.
Neither one. Okay. Hi, Pete. Okay, so the basketball cards, now this is my game. Again, great condition. We've looked through a couple of these cards. We're looking at the Magic Bird rookie. It's unfortunately got a crease in it. We got the Lou Alcindor. We've got some other awesome Hall of Famers, the Pete Maravich. You always take a little risk with these when they're not graded because you're guessing on what the grades are going to be. But overall, as we're flipping through these pages, these basketball cards look absolutely great.
Oh, yeah, the posters.
Yeah. You don't see these often.
No. That's why sometimes the inserts are more than some of the cards.
Yeah. I got it. I'm going to start digging through these. I got to get an idea of what's happening. Top loaders. It's the first we've seen of them.
These are all extras. A buddy of mine that I work with went to a card show.
Okay.
He said, "Do you want me to sell some of your cards?" I said, "I'll see if I can put a couple boxes together for you."
So the stacks of stuff that were extras, the doubles, the triples, is overwhelmingly junk wax era stuff. There are some gems in there, of course. I'm not going to value this as much because I just don't want more of this stuff. But if he wants to throw it into the deal, we'll take it. But nothing here to get super excited about, at least in my opinion.
There's my guy, John Mackey. That's my football idol, John Mackey.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
When we played football, they couldn't tackle me. He said, you're like John Mackey. He said, okay, thanks.
The variable we can't quite figure out yet is if football is going to be included. And football is the key piece to all of this. It's going to drive a massive amount of price for this deal. You know, I think I'm valuing the hockey and the basketball somewhere in the $17,000 range. So hopefully I can pay less than that. And then the football, you know, we're upwards of $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 just because of the rarity of these sets. So it's going to come down to what they're willing to part with before we can come up with a number. Okay, so I've gone through some of this, and Dave did a good job just kind of setting the expectations. You know, some of this is leftover stuff from sets that he built in the 60s and 70s, and then some complete sets. And you can see the stuff that we see a lot of times, you know, the stuff that every collector has, right? The late 80s, early 90s, baseball sealed sets, football sealed sets. So I dug through here just to make sure there was nothing like crazy that we were missing, really was the idea. You ready to talk some numbers about your
Yes.
cards? We're talking about hockey, basketball, and the baseball you brought out.
Yes.
We don't know about football yet.
Right.
Your wife is deciding on that.
That's correct.
And the reason is there's an emotional attachment there. There's meaning, different type of meaning for those, right? Is that the,
Yeah. Yeah. It is. That is what we spent most of our time with
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
This is always the tough part because you put the work into this. And I go into these not knowing what people know. You know what stuff is worth. You
Yes.
know, I mean, you're quoting numbers on jerseys that I'm like, I have no idea. What do you think you want for the football? I mean, for the basketball, the hockey, and the baseball?
I'm going to throw out a number, whether it's right or not, 10.
10K?
10K. Now, of course, that's the Bobby Hall and rookie
Yeah.
card and everything else that goes with it. To me, 10K is fair. I don't know if that's legitimate or not.
Yeah. Yeah, the
I don't
number
know what your thoughts are.
I wrote down 12.
Okay.
Yeah. So you like the 12 better, I'm guessing.
Yes, but we're going to need to make it $12,622.99.
Tell me
Mary's
more.
birthday is June 22nd. Mary gets the bills, I get the coin, so I got to get 99 cents.
Yeah. Okay. Deal. So, you know, with these negotiations, you always hope that the seller understands what he has because it just makes life easy. If they have a number, then you don't have to be both the buyer and the seller. And I threw that on to Dave, and he immediately had an idea of what he wanted for it. You know, I was thinking somewhere in that $10,000 to $13,000 price range would be where I'd want to be at, and he threw out 10. We settled on 12, which I think is overwhelmingly fair for both of us. And so, actually, not even 12. What do we settle at? 12, 667.99 or something like that. Dave, being the kind of guy he is, has a very specific number with very specific meaning. Fair deal all the way around. I had it at 14 before the Bobby Orr.
Oh,
Once
okay, yeah.
So
yeah.
once we pulled that out, that changed hockey for
Yeah,
me
oh, of course.
significantly, obviously. Where do you think you're going to be at with football? Do you know?
No, I don't, other than what Beckett says, but that's, boy, I'm going to guess 120.
120?
Yeah.
Okay.
I might be way off. I'm not sure. Again, none of the cards are graded, so
Yeah.
I'm just going off what I thought the grades would look like.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to know. You know, the National Chickle was so hard to value.
Yeah,
I spent a lot of time trying to figure that out. I think we're going to be really far off on that.
probably.
Yeah.
Again, a lot of it's emotional.
Yeah.
So,
Which is totally cool.
okay, cool.
Easy.
Easy peasy. Thank you.
Thank you. Dave, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you,
Yeah.
Ty. Fantastic.
You
You look
liking this?
great. Fantastic.
Trying to decide if I should keep the pants on or not.
I'd probably take the pants off.
Thank you again. So we got the deal done with Dave. Awesome deal. I mean, these are cards that I think our buyers are going to love. There's going to be some cards that we grade. It's a good combination of sports, and I mean, we got to sit here and listen to some great jokes and stories from Dave all day. Hard to complain about this. More importantly, I'm hoping that Dave calls me first when he wants to sell some of his other things that I'd love to add to my collection or pass on to you guys watching this. So overall, incredible day with Dave and
I
Mary.
wish I could replicate today over and over again. It really is the epitome of why we travel the United States hunting for stories and collections. If you love this episode, do us a favor and subscribe. Share it with friends and watch one of the other amazing episodes we have right here. Keep chasing.